Welcome to Urban Knife Guy, where we explore the urban lifestyle and jungle survival. Today we're going to have a look at the ProdPodge credit card multi-tool and see if it makes for a good emergency survival kit. First, if you watch this channel regularly but have not subscribed, please do so to help the channel out. Thanks. So if you spend your time on Amazon or any other online marketplace or outdoor gear shops, you know they'll sell various forms of survival cards. I've seen good ones, I've seen bad ones. Most I think are questionable in the sense that can you actually bring them out in a survival situation as a third or fourth backup just to keep in a kit. Some actually do provide, I think, some utility and some value. So I saw this particular one. The brand is ProdPodge, but I've seen many different brands, probably all made from the same Chinese manufacturer. But I picked this one up, it's, I think, US $10 or so. You can get cheaper ones if it's unbranded, but this is the one I got. Now the brand is ProdPodge. P-O-D-G-E, Podge, but you know, no branding of that on this box whatsoever. Inside we do have the card itself, and you can see the brand right over there, and you also get this lanyard with the whistle. Now this is touted as having 11 functions, including the lanyard and the whistle, which is kind of a cheat because you're supposed to tie it to the card. So I'm not so interested in that. They should have integrated the whistle into this card. So you get the card here and you get this instruction booklet to show you the different functionalities. But I'll put that aside for now, and we'll just have a look at the card itself. Now, I'm under no illusion that this is something that I can just bring as a survival kit when I go outdoors into the field. This is really more of a novelty item, and just to see if there's any value that it can bring in terms of adding it, as I mentioned before, as a backup of a backup in an emergency kit as such. But this was designed for outdoor use, and you see that in terms of the materials and the different tools and functions that it kind of touts. In terms of the size, so this is 3.42 inches long, 2.16 inches wide. You can see it looks about 1/4 of an inch, slightly more, maybe 1/3 of an inch, and it weighs 1.7 ounces. So it's not super lightweight, but of course still lightweight because it's ABS plastic. Now this cannot fit into an Altoids tin. So while it's credit card size, it will not fit into an Altoids tin, but it's slightly larger than a credit card. And I think it's still fair to call this a credit card sized tool. So everything, as you can see, is fitted within this particular card, and there's supposed to be 11 functions altogether. But I mentioned the lanyard and the whistle, so probably 9. But let's just start with the most obvious, and I think what would be the most important, and that's the compass to me, right? Navigation, very important if we're talking about a survival tool, especially out in the wild. Now, there is a problem with the compass. It doesn't really work, in my opinion. It's not very accurate, or maybe you really have to let it sit very long, and you have to take out the tools because the tools are metal. But I've tried it many different ways, and I do not get an accurate reading. Now, I know many people don't trust this sort of water-filled compasses in general, not just this one, but this is a really tiny one, and it came to me, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it came angled. It's not even level. So as I turn it, I'm not sure if you can see that, but as I turn it, it doesn't even move. You see, it's pointing here now, and for me, north is more this side. So maybe if you take out all the tools, you leave it there, hit it a bit, maybe it works. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a complete fail. I could never depend on this compass. So if you bought this and your compass is working, do let me know in the comments below. You do get a magnifying glass. Let's see if you can see it. Does it magnify? Yeah, to a certain extent it does magnify, and I'm wondering whether you could actually start a fire with this. Not sure, would have to try it out. But that's on the outside. Let's see some other things. Okay, these would seem familiar if you have a Victorinox knife or Swiss card. Basically you have a very thin pair of toothpick or a pair of tweezers here, and then a toothpick, very small, and this also start after kind of the Victorinox scale tools. Over here, look, that's supposed to be a knife sharpener, but it's kind of recessed inside this plastic. So I'm sure that if you were to kind of sharpen your knife, you're going to cut off the plastic or shave off the plastic first. Maybe that's the intention, I'm not sure. And then on the outside, nothing else. Well, okay, there's a ruler. Again, a very easy kind of function to incorporate into something like that, but I'm not sure how useful really. All right, let's pull out some things. See, so these are how you can actually take out the various items. This is supposed to be, I think, a parcel opener. So it's kind of a blade over here, but not very sharp. And then there's this can opener, and I believe screwdriver. So that's supposed to be a flathead, and this, I'm not sure, maybe this is supposed to be a pry tool of sorts, or kind of a Phillips head. So yeah, Phillips head, you put it in and then it turns. So it's for Phillips head screw, but it's not Phillips head, if you know what I mean. But this basically goes in here, and that's pretty alright. Over here, we have a small ferro rod, and this is why you would think this is really designed for outdoors, to have a ferro rod. Now, I've never struck it, so I'm going to strike it in just a while to see if it works, because I first have to remove this. This is kind of the main blade, the main tool. It's got a kind of a 3/4 inch straight blade or edge, and then you got this serrated edge. Doubt you could really saw, although it seems sharp enough. It's a chisel grind, by the way. So that means it's ground just like that. And then you have these open wrench boxes, and this is, I guess, another kind of a cord cutter, or maybe you could use it as a gutting tool, and you would hold it just like that. I guess you can get kind of like a 2-finger purchase, and yeah, it's better than nothing. I'm almost certain this won't be sharp, but let's kind of do a paper test and just see that. Yeah. So that's not cutting at all. Would have to sharpen it and then hone it on a strop to get it any kind of paper shaving sharp. And let's see, how would we use this? See, I'm contacting the plastic and the stone at the same time, so and then I guess I have to do this to try to really maintain that angle. But yeah, I'm really not sure how effective that is. Well, that's it. This is the ProdPodge tool. I'm not impressed. For $10, it seems expensive, but as I said, you could probably get an unbranded one for like $3, and that excludes shipping. So as a survival tool, I probably wouldn't even carry this personally. Now, I talked about the ferro. Let's see that. Maybe this is the saving grace. So I'm going to try the spine first, even though it doesn't seem that sharp. But let's just see if it strikes that. Okay, maybe I'll scrape off the coating first. Nope. Okay, a bit of a spark. Okay, I'm going to try the serrated part here. Let's just see. Okay, so you can get some kind of a spark, so a little saving grace. Now, something like this, as I said, I won't bring this out even as a backup of my backup of my backup of my backup of my survival kit. But I can see this as a fun little thing, maybe as a teaching tool for kids or scouts who are going out and you're trying to show how different tools can be adapted for survival. So I do see some value there, and also to teach them how things can be packed to form a small package, but you can have multiple tools that you could ultimately use. Now, of course, in a real survival situation, it's better to have this than nothing. So, I have to say that. But as a tool that you actually bring out in place of other professional tools that say like the Leatherman Signal, then obviously not. You would not do that. In terms of the steel, there's no mention of what steel this is. It's stainless steel, but I'm not sure whether it's 3CR13. That's really common for China steels on the lower end. So I'm not sure what that is, but generally I would say as kind of a Christmas stocking stuffer, as a cheap gift you want to get someone or a group of people who are into outdoors, this might be novel enough to be a little present. But for someone who's really going out into the field for bushcraft and with some more serious intent, then I think not much value here. But do let me know your thoughts on this particular tool. If you have it or something similar, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.